And welcome to Healthcare Sucks. This is like, I need to be cheery and energy for you, my viewers and stuff, so let's do it right. Healthcare sucks! Uh, the reason I'm a little let down is I think we're all being let down by our government right now. And Pence and everybody's dropped the ball, the states dropped the ball. I want to be upfront with you. I'm going to do this. There's going to be several videos in a row because I think each person from King County has their own story, and I want to give each person their time on my show so we understand what they're going through and what they've tried to do, what they've tried to do to get help, and to the extent they've went to try to get help and how they've been treated. And I think they've been treated like shit. I'm going to be upfront. I don't usually use the S word, but I'm not happy with what the way these people have been treated. It's just disgusting that our government and our government officials, all the way up to the top, could not take time to check this out. So we're going to start with one gentleman first. I'm really proud of this guy. I may contact this guy at a later time and see if he'll do the show and do a live stream if it's not too much for him. The other ladies and stuff, the people who have lost their loved ones, I might contact them later too, but right now I just want to get their stories out so you understand what's going on. And I'm so sad for everybody involved that has lost family and what they're going through. As healthcare sucks, this is what I do, and it does suck, guys. And I feel for every one of the people you're going to watch tonight. And with that, we're on with the show.
23. He has complicated health issues, not respiratory, but others. So he's an at-risk individual. Thank you.
We will do her own little show. It's just the way the films broke up. This is the guy we're starting with. I want you to listen to his frustration.
Just give a personal answer to a couple of questions I heard. And you asked what I would say to Mike Pence. We're continually told that our loved ones are safe in this establishment. And I want Mike Pence to come and sit with my father-in-law for an hour in this facility, if it's that safe. I'd also say that the procedures that you guys have, the CDC have in place, are not working. This disease seems to be contagious before it's symptomatic. Why are we waiting until people are symptomatic? And especially for a population like this, that's a death sentence. I think we're 0 for 8 right now, right? Everybody here who's been tested positive has, I believe that's the case, has now died. So if you're testing positive, why even move them, right? Like that, it's done. So I want Mike Pence, I want the CDC. The CDC need to change their approach to this. We've been promised tests. It's a day later and we're still no tests. I don't know how long it takes to get tests here. I still don't see a large CDC presence. And like I said, I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm waiting for that phone call and I don't want it to come, right? So that's why I called this today, because yesterday we were, one of the VPs from LCC told us that they had this new procedure in place, that we would have daily updates from a care representative that's been assigned to each of us. And then today Pat emailed me on that group thread and said, can you call me? My mother has passed away. I'm not trained as a counselor, but I spoke with Pat. We were on the call together when she said, hold on, I have another call coming through. I think it's the care center. She called me back 15 minutes later. She said, you won't believe what just happened. I've just had a phone call to say that my mother is fine.
She came back to life.
Yeah. And it was at that moment that we decided that we needed to up the game a bit and see. So, and then from an anger perspective, I know a lot of people have said they're not angry at the care facility. At the start, I was incredibly angry with the care facility and frustrated. My anger now lies squarely with, I don't even know if it's the CDC or the BOH. I don't know, or the DOH. I don't know who we're supposed to be angry with. I don't think that the Life Care Centre of Kirkland have done a particularly good job, but I don't think they're equipped or trained to deal with this. And we still don't have the people whomever the people who are supposed to fly in and deal with this highly infectious, deadly disease, they're the people that I'm personally incredibly angry with. And I'd like to speak to them. I'd like to speak with them in the facility. That's where I want to speak with them. If this facility is safe enough for my father-in-law, I want Mike Pence in that facility. I want Dow Constantine's. Any of them who have elderly parents, I want their parents in this facility. If it's safe enough for my father-in-law, it's safe enough for their parents as well. That's how angry I am, and that's how frustrated I am.
What changes do you want to see right away?
I want to see testing. I want to see they keep saying they're quarantined. They're not quarantined. They've been confined to their bedrooms, and even then they're not confined. One of the families reported yesterday that her father was out in the communal area walking around. My father-in-law was invited to walk around the outdoors if he wanted. This is not quarantine. There is no quarantine here. This disease is running rampage through this facility. It's a matter of 7 to 10 business days, I was told, before I'll be told when my father-in-law will be tested. My father-in-law, at the rate that this disease is killing people in this establishment, will be dead by the end of the week. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So when we first spoke with them, they hadn't been told it was COVID-19. They were told it was a respiratory outbreak. So he was surprised. At the time, all the staff were wearing masks and none of the residents were given masks. We were then told that masks aren't effective. Well, if masks aren't effective, don't wear them. And if they are effective, give them to the residents. Because if you're wearing a mask and when I spoke with the executive director here, she said those are the precautions we're being told to take, even though they're not effective. What you're doing is instilling fear in your residents, right? So at first he was scared. They're now limited with staff because people are quarantined, people are sick, and people are too scared to come to work. So the level of service they're receiving has diminished. So they're not showering them and washing them as often as they had been previously because they don't have the staff to do it. This is a disease that thrives in filth, and you have a population of elderly, infirm people who are now not being bathed on a regular basis. They weren't, there's hand sanitizer in there, but they weren't given individual hand sanitizers. So he's scared. He's Jerry. We lost Carol, my mother-in-law, last year after an illness of about a year, and Jerry spent 9 months in a chair next to her in a hospital, watching his wife of 60 plus years pass away. And after she passed away, Jerry then became very ill, and he was dying of a broken heart. So Jerry was brought here originally, and he was admitted into hospice in this facility. Jerry loves people. He loves the nurses here. He's a big flirt. He loves large quantities of mediocre food, and he gets all the chicken pot pies he can eat here. So Jerry actually graduated out of hospice at this facility. So Jerry is deathly afraid of hospitals, and equates this facility with bringing him, giving him his life back. So he doesn't want to leave. I'm going to kill him myself. I can't seem to convey the danger of the situation he's in, but it's his life, and I have to respect his wishes, and he wishes to stay here. Now, we were fortunate enough that I've been such a pain in the butt to these people that they offered us a private room. And the only reason there was a private room for Jerry, there was no private rooms in this establishment 2 weeks ago. You couldn't get a room here. The only reason now that there's a private room is that there's so many people who've passed away. So he's in a private room. He has an 8-foot window so he can look outside. He's in good spirits, but which is why yesterday we were like, okay, we're in a better situation. And then I wake up this morning and get the call from Pat to say, my mother's died. So there is no quarantine here. There is no control measures in here. The people running this facility don't know how to contain this. They're not trained to. They don't have the experience to. Where are the CDC? Where are the trained professionals? Where are they? They're still not here. This is 5-6 days later. It was Saturday. What has to happen? I don't know what I need to do. I tried speaking to the press. It didn't work. Now I'm bringing you all together to do this press conference. If there's another death tomorrow, we're going to up our ante again, and whatever we need to do to keep my father-in-law alive is what I'm willing to do. And I want to speak to Mike Pence. I want to speak to Doug Hunstein. They made time to speak with all you guys. Where's the time for the families? Nobody has reached out to us. Nobody. So I'm angry and I'm frustrated, and it's at all the people that I named when I spoke earlier on. Thank you. I learned that today. Yeah. I want him to come down here. I want him to come down here and speak to us. He's here. I think he's here because it's a presidential election year, right? I think we have limited resources to battle this disease, and I think somebody somewhere decided that this population of people wasn't worth wasting resources on. That's how it feels. Otherwise, I can't think of there's no other valid reason for the response that we were getting, which is 3 people who are here periodically throughout the day.
Nobody's ever been seen.
None of us have ever seen. They've never reached out to us. We don't have contact with them. I called and asked if I could speak with one of them. The VP of Life Care Centre said they're actually not on site at the moment. I said, well, where are they? He said, I don't know. So I believe Mike Pence is in, if he wants to be here to impact change, he needs to come down here and hear from us and let us speak to him directly.
Have any of you seen a CDC truck pull up here, or anybody in any kind of a suit come here, any markings on a vehicle? Nothing, right? There's been no report of that. Where are these people?
And we were told yesterday there would be tests. Where are the tests? And after the testing, what are we going to do? We want to see testing. We want to see the people. I don't even know if can you test somebody if they're asymptomatic? We don't even know that, right? So if that's the case that you can't, then that would be an answer. Well, there's no point testing people.
You can, but they're just not allowing it to happen.
Well, see, and we're getting conflicting information. I want people tested. I then want them separated. Either all the sick removed from this facility and this facility cleaned top to bottom, and then move people around as they clean rooms, or take the sick away, take the non-sick away, clean this facility, and move them back in, or leave them all but quarantine them. There's no quarantine. They keep saying quarantine. There's no quarantine. They are being loosely asked. They're not even confined to the room. They're being loosely asked to stay in their rooms, and they're not doing it.
May I comment?
Yeah.
My mother Judy is here, and we just...
And that's part one, guys. And the reason I didn't interrupt is because I think it would be rude to interrupt this gentleman. He had a lot to say. He said it better than I could say it. He had emotion. He had lots of love. He was courteous. He was patient. He didn't even use a 4-letter word. I'm very proud of him. And I'm not kidding, guys. This is not a joke right now. This is like every question he asked should be answered by somebody above. He has a lot of concerns. I am very concerned. And I ask you to pray for his father and all those people there tonight and the loved ones that have already passed. This is a tragedy. And I'm not kidding. As healthcare sucks, you know, you guys go back and look at me for years, the things I've covered and what I've done. This is probably maybe the biggest tragedy in one area that I have ever seen. And then to get ignored from the people higher up, all the way to Pence, excuse me, it's just rude, guys. So I will say some prayers tonight too. We will have part 2 out in a while, but go ahead and watch this and let me know what you think. And when you call your governors, your senators, you let them know about this. And you let them know you watched it at Healthcare Sucks and you're not happy. And you let them know that you're getting the truth from Healthcare Sucks, whereas they're giving you a bunch of bull and lies. And I pray that we all get through this, guys. I just do. And with that, healthcare sucks! It definitely does. I'll be back.